Our next guest is responsible for helping building designers who use Autodesk software better connect with companies who make the products that go into the buildings, among other things. He's the Senior Director for Autodesk Content Network, Jeff Wright. Jeff, welcome into Tomorrow. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks, Dave.
Pleasure to have you with us. Why is this important, what you guys are doing, and how does it relate to perhaps helping our audience understand what your group works on?
Yeah, well, as you know, our company creates software for all sorts of designers, and many of our designers are building designers, architects, and building engineers, and these folks, when they're working on a project, designing a project, they need to find information about the products that will ultimately go into those designs, whether it's a window or an air conditioning unit or a lighting fixture. And finding that information is a cumbersome process for them, or it has been historically, looking through catalogs, browsing the web, and then ultimately when they find what they're looking for, then they have the arduous task of having to model or create that component from scratch, whereas they'd much rather quickly find that information and quickly find a model representing that building product.
So maybe actually kind of cut and paste it into the design? Is that some of the concept there, to see it as you envision?
Exactly, and that's really the solution that we're providing to them, is a way to quickly find the product information they're looking for and a representative 3D model that they can drag and drop right into their design. So,
and you mentioned everything from light switches to doorknobs to whatever it is that they're working on. That's got to be part of their concept.
That's right.
Very cool. Now, is this what's known as Autodesk Seek? Is that part of this program?
It is, yeah. Autodesk Seek is a web service, a search-based web service that allows these designers to very quickly find exactly the product information and the design files they need to quickly get on with the design concept.
So, of course, you describe your Seek service as a way for manufacturers, as one example, to market their products as well, which I think is kind of a cool way. So if you've got somebody that makes doorknobs or light switches or whatever, then they can work with you, and therefore it becomes a whole lot easier, I guess, for the end user, the client, who's designing a building, to say, I can pick and choose from these items.
Exactly, yeah. So while we're solving a very important problem for the designer, the manufacturers also have a problem or a desire, and they've been asking Autodesk for a very long time. How do we get our product information to the designers who are using your software? Autodesk Seek is that solution as well, right? So a manufacturer who has a line of windows, for instance, and wants that product information to get to an architect through our software, Autodesk Seek is a perfect way for them to do that, and it's a great marketing solution for them.
I was going to say, it sounds to me like a great opportunity for them to kind of, in a whole new way, market their products, because at that point, can then the designer order these things through Autodesk Seek, or somehow make that connection and now say, not only does it look good, that's our concept, that's what we want, now we need the product?
Well, so the designer, or more likely somebody downstream from the designer, the contractor, or the owner of the project,
the end user,
would be the person that would order the product. But typically they're relying on the designer to help make these important design decisions. And so when the designer pulls in that special window to meet the design concept that they have in mind, that manufacturer has a very good chance of being the one that ends up in the actual project that gets built.
Now, how difficult is it now for the manufacturers to say, okay, great, now we can do this, so what's involved? What do you need from them? You need 3D renderings of their products, for example, or scalable sorts of things, and how easy do you make it for them to include their products?
Yeah, so we make it pretty easy. All of these manufacturers have product information, specifications that describe their products. Some of them even have ready-made design files. But some of them need richer data to describe their models, and we have there are many service providers that we work with and help our manufacturing customers connect with to get their information created in the way that best reflects their product and makes it easiest to use by the designer.
Is this part of what your group is doing with photorealistic images as well? I mean, it sounds to me like, first of all, what is a photorealistic image? It seems to me like it's a picture.
Yeah, we have another product, web product called Autodesk Showroom. And what Showroom is it's a way for a designer or even a homeowner to visualize a scene, like a kitchen, and various products in that kitchen. It's photorealistic in that it's indistinguishable from a photograph.
Oh.
Okay, but it's better than a photograph. And
Yeah.
the reason it's better than a photograph is that it is a 3D model, which allows a very interactive experience. The designer or the homeowner can swap out different products, change the colors, and see what that scene, that room, would actually look like with different products mixed and matched.
Different angles and things like that. So
Absolutely.
if somebody says, I want to see what the kitchen looks like as I enter, or maybe from outside, or whatever the case, right?
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then this is all part of the concept that your team works on to make these things easier to integrate in design programs, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we're helping designers make better decisions about the products to include in their designs, and we're helping manufacturers market their products more effectively to those designers.
Now that showroom program you talked about, I'm imagining listeners going, now that's cool, and we're going to redesign some of the house, or I'm going to rebuild the kids' room, or whatever,
Yeah.
redecorating. Can our listeners use something like that now?
Well, right now, Showroom is a technology preview on the Autodesk Labs site. So your audience can go to labs.autodesk.com and see a number of technology previews, one of them being Autodesk Showroom, and they're more than welcome to go and play with that to their heart's content.
I would think that something like that, to be able to, and maybe I'm assuming this is part of what you guys are working on, allow maybe a person to put a picture of their kitchen, for example, into your site, and then be able to now start playing with different designs or putting in different products and seeing their own layout and how they can change it.
Indeed. In fact, there are other products in technology preview mode on Labs that are starting to address exactly what you just described, Dave.
Very cool. Well, Jeff, keep up the good work that you and your team are working on, because I can see there's a whole lot as we head further into tomorrow that you can be presenting and making our lives a whole lot easier and more fun, for that matter. Why shouldn't it be more fun if you're going to redesign a room, as the case of many of our listeners? Enjoy it. So that's labs.autodesk.com, right?
Exactly.
Excellent. And of course, Autodesk.com in general for more information. Jeff Wright, the Senior Director for the Autodesk Content Network. His work's cut out for him, but they're doing some pretty cool stuff. Check it out at Autodesk.com. I'm Dave Graveline. We're back with more right after this.